Hello, everyone.
Jesus, do you see how
Welcome
loud that is?
to our kind of homesteading. We're your hosts, Sherry.
And Shauna.
There you go. She got it.
I would
She
look
knows
down
her
and my
name.
shirt was all cockeyed and it looks like I just got into a tussle or something.
A tussle.
Yeah.
It's a very cute word. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. I don't know if I can hear myself. So I'm gonna take
We
those
need
off.
to get a new thingy because the
Yeah.
thingy's broken.
So,
Anyways, today
yeah.
we thought we'd start off just talking, updating on what's going on in our homestead. We're trying to do that every so often and take it back a notch so you guys can kind of get more of a glimpse on what we're doing or what we're up to.
Definitely.
Still, if you guys are interested in being a part of the Q&A episode, make sure you write your questions.
Get those questions in. Yeah.
You can either write them into our Instagram, which is our kind of homesteading, obviously, or you can write them to our Gmail, which is our kind of homesteading at Gmail.
Yes.
Either of those will work, or even on YouTube, you can write your questions through our YouTube account, which is still the same, our kind of homesteading. So very shocking, I know. Anyway, so if you want to be part of that, please write your questions in because we're going to try to get that all sorted out and done eventually.
Yes.
Within the next couple episodes, probably.
And they can be questions about anything, not necessarily it doesn't have to be homestead related. It could be questions about just our lives specifically, questions about literally anything you want to know about.
Homeschooling,
Yeah.
unschooling,
Or just our
homesteading,
life
anything else that
in
starts with an
general.
H.
About our family.
Our
You know what I mean?
family,
Just whatever
our
you want to.
animals.
Yeah. Whatever you want to hear about. So just,
Yeah.
and we can make a very small question into, a lot of info because that's what we do.
We like to talk.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah,
Got
so
it
do
from our
that
mom.
if you haven't already. And yeah, so what has been happening on our homestead? So I am finished with my garden. It's very much obviously it's been done. And my tomatoes, I have little baby tomatoes already. I have little baby zucchinis already. I have a bunch of the stupid, what are they called? The flea beetles? Is that what they're called? Attacking my okra. Very annoying.
I hate pests.
Very annoying. So I need to figure out how to deter them.
Name? Does name work for them?
I don't know. I've never really dealt with the flea beetles, and because this is the first year where I've successfully planted okra.
Okay.
Because before, when I planted it, I tried to plant it in ground instead of planting it in the box, and the gophers ate them all, through the bottom very quickly.
This is mine.
Yeah, and so they're they're not very big. They're only probably, what's that, 6 inches?
Yeah.
6 inches big and 6 inches big.
A guy
Sherry.
would say 12.
I thought that when I put my hands up, I was like, oh, it's bigger than 6 inches. Anyway, it's just super annoying because they're some of the leaves are completely destroyed, and I was looking to, because you always have to look to see
So
what kind of
obnoxious.
pest
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so you know how to combat
Yes.
it. And I saw little thingies hopping around in the dirt. And I was like, damn you. I was like, I think you're called flea beetles. I'm not sure.
So annoying. I hate garden pests.
I know.
And they can come on very, very quickly and out of nowhere. One day you're fucking fine, and you're in there, you're watering, and the next day you come in, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's just very, very obnoxious. It's like an overnight thing.
It is.
Just overnight, just we've invaded, and now we're eating all of this. It's for us.
Highly unfortunate.
Yes.
I also have the powdery mildew on my zucchini leaves because we don't have our irrigation system in yet because my husband doesn't love me that much anymore, and so he hasn't put it in.
Oh.
And I'm just joking. He's like, I'm just waiting. I don't know what he's waiting for anymore. My garden's been in forever, and he's like, do it already. I could do it, but I don't want to.
Yeah, yeah.
And I want him to do it.
I mean, I get it.
So I've been watering, just watering.
Yeah, yeah,
But
hand
the
watering.
zucchini gets the stupid powdery mildew on their leaves so easily, especially when you hand water. If you're just watering and they're like, oh no, I don't even know. So I have to spray them with some milk or something. You do a half. For those that you don't know, if you have the powdery mildew, it can't be a horrible case. Those leaves just snap off. But if it's you can just start noticing it, you take the half milk, half water in a spray bottle and spray it on the leaves in the morning, and then let the sun do its thing. And it's weird how that helps, but it does.
Strange.
Weird, huh?
The plant's give me milk.
I know. You can spray milk on my leaves. Okay.
They're like, fine.
Apparently
works.
they want like, because that's what, like 2% milk too. Because you're mixing with water. 1% milk? Skim milk? I don't know.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's very strange. Very, very strange.
Yeah. What about you? I'm trying to think of other things.
Okay, so our garden is not going as of yet. I didn't do anything from seeds, so we're buying starters, and I have a bunch of herbs and a bunch of pepper plants. My in-laws brought over from Mexico. I don't know if that's legal or not, but we did it. Peppers they're super, super tiny and super, super spicy.
Are those the little purple ones?
No, I had those one year. My chickens ate them all. No, these are red. And they're very, very spicy. My husband is in love with them. And so we have like 8 plants on our back porch in pots. They're thriving. They're doing very, very well. So those, and then just a bunch of herbs, more
Hopefully
peppers
the
that
chickens don't get to
Spencer.
'em.
No, the chickens don't go in the backyard or they get killed by the dogs. So, yeah, that's how that goes. Don't cross the fence line or you are not going to live.
Going to be dinner.
That's right.
Chicken dinner.
So, and just another reason it's nice to kind of guard on my back porch because I do not have to worry about the chickens at all.
This is like the first year you've done like container gardening on your
Yes,
back
and
porch.
it was my husband's idea. I was like, wow, that's actually a really good idea. So
He can have them once in a
he
while.
can have them. I'm like,
have
look
them.
at him. So I really like it because I can just like step out my back door and water all my fucking plants that need to be watered and tend to them.
It's not like you have to like run up to your garden.
I don't have to
away
walk
from-
up the 800 feet to the garden. And I know 800 feet is not a terrible amount of,
when you have a baby.
but when I have the
and
baby, it just adds in more
other
time.
little
And
kids.
not that I don't enjoy walking down that hill. I actually
just hard
do.
this year, yeah.
But it's just, it makes it just harder. And I still am in the garden. I still have to, I have to water in there still. Like irrelevant of if I put more in there because I have so much in there already that have been very established plants
perennials.
that I still need to be, watering
Tending
and taking
to?
care of all throughout the
So why don't you
dry
just plant
season.
in there?
I might. Aiden is trading a day with his boss. So his boss is like expert landscaper, right? So Aiden is going and working for him for like a day for free. And then he's going to come here and he's going to put our drip system in. The boss.
Yeah.
Irrigation. And he's going to write down everything we need to do for the pond. And we're going to get that going.
That's cool.
It is cool. I'm very excited.
That is exciting.
My ducks need a bigger pond.
I know.
Their baby pool is not sufficient.
I know. I was talking to River about that. I was like, I really, really want to get our pond like in. But
Yeah.
I know it's like obviously a lot more goes into it than just digging a hole. You
Yes,
already
correct.
have. You already
We
have
already
the hole.
have the hole.
So
And
you're a step ahead.
It's a seasonal, and it's
We
sometimes
have
filled with
kind of
water.
a seasonal because like down in our lower field, like the runoff goes down and kind of pools right there. And if it was deeper, it would naturally, because it already pools there,
Well, you could just
it would naturally
you could dig that out.
be a seasonal pond
Yeah.
if we dug it out.
Yeah, you could just
But
dig
we
that
just
out.
haven't yet.
Yeah.
And we don't have one of those thingies that, the dirt out. What's that
Yeah.
called?
Excavator. Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah. You get a little mini one.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
have one of those, but our neighbor across the street does. But we're not like, they're like a crop, not like a crop. Anyways,
We have to dig our pond out a bit more because since we have to dig the creek out a bit because of how it's just gone over all of these years. Dirt. Because, anyways, a lot of dirt now. So the pond no longer is as deep as it once was, like 25 years ago, if that makes sense. Because a ton of dirt washes
just
down.
kind of fills
Just
in
washes
with
down.
sediment.
Right. So we have to make sure we get the creek dug a little bit more out, like really dig it out so that when the creek is at its like fullest, it's not going to wash more dirt down, if that makes sense. And then dig the pond out a little bit more and then put down whatever the fuck. My husband says one thing, Dad's saying something else, Mom says something else. I don't know. I'm going to listen to Aiden's boss because he's like, this is his like jam. Like this is his thing.
right.
This is his
You
livelihood.
could also Google it.
I have Googled it. Many, many different options.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
My husband was saying that we need to do clay or something.
Yes, that is what one of these people said. Don't know who. Someone else said plastic.
Yeah, I want to do plastic.
Someone
That's
else
horrible.
said, I forget. But anyways, I have Googled it. Many, many options. So
I would
I'm
stay
happy to
away
talk
from
to
plastic.
Aiden's boss because I just, it's his life. It's what he does for like a living. And
Well, that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get that going and I can get my garden, freaking whatever,
Well, you should
irrigated.
have told me because Dave, honest friend, has a shit ton of really nice starters, and I would have had him grab some for you.
Oh.
I grabbed because like
Well, you knew I was buying starters.
I didn't know you were like I did, but like I didn't. Because you said you had like a couple pepper plants. Like I didn't know you're getting
like that I wanted.
like a bunch of tomatoes or anything.
I'm tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini. That's it.
Don't plant zucchini. I planted way too many.
I am
I
not
have a
doing
problem.
anything else. That one year I planted so many of those stupid Chinese fingerling fucking. I hate those things.
Eggplant?
Whatever. Yes. No. It's no good.
You know,
I don't think we ate one of them.
I had so many zucchini last year, and I saved a bunch by just freezing it. Okay, but it was like way too much. That even we got tired of using like the frozen zucchini.
Yeah.
And so by now it's been like, almost a whole year. It's no longer good in my freezer. It's freezer burnt, but it's still sitting there because like, you're like, this is still here. And so I was
chickens?
like, I fed it to the ducks and they love it.
Oh yeah. Ducks are just like chickens.
I was like, this is because like I don't like get like regular duck food for them, like I do like the chickens because I want them to get bugs and they're really good at like bug control.
Yeah.
And so I just give them some treats.
Yeah.
And so they get like the whatever in the morning. I give them way too many treats though. Like I basically just feed them what, but it's like, I'm always like, I'm like, nah, I'm going to give them a little bit more. Then they're like all like sitting in their house and not coming out. And they're like, wah, 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 wah. I'm like, okay.
But, they're like, we're fat. We can't move. You're like, naughty.
Naughty. I'm like, come out and eat. I have so many fucking pincher bugs. I don't know what your pincher bug level is.
Yeah. I hate them.
Are you like experiencing a higher amount?
You
this year?
always have them? Okay, is it around this time of year that you have them?
Yes, it's around this time of year, but they fluctuate in how many, and we'll have really bad years, and it's always after really wet
yes.
years.
Like at the pool, like, see, we just don't have them. I don't know why. Like, but
I have so many pincher bugs.
See, our chickens, like, they're very, very good at eating bugs because I do what you're doing with your ducks with my chickens, though. Like, I don't, like, we feed them, but, like, it's the bare minimum that I know that they need. And because I'm like, you will eat those bugs.
Yeah.
So they're hunting all day long. You can see them just scavenging all day long.
On food. I have a problem with overfeeding my animals.
Yeah, you should not overfeed. There's no reason to overfeed your chickens.
There's no reason.
There's plenty of bugs.
And I need more because, like, I just need more, like, in there. Everybody has, like, their own space, on their property, and how you're, like, your different flocks have their own areas, and nobody has, like, the front yard area anymore. And which I thought at first, I was like, this is a good thing because I don't have a bunch of chicken shit on my porch. But now that we're being, like, every time you open the front door, like, 10 pincher bugs will, like, just because they go around the door jamb at night. And so when you open the door,
I hate them so much.
And so, like, I'm like, why aren't any chickens over here? And I'm like, you guys come here. And I try to call them and stuff, and they get, like, a certain distance. And I actually think it was because Shanley's dog, Tofu, he, like, kind of hangs out on our porch. And I think that's why they're not hanging out there anymore.
Yeah.
Which, again, I thought, like, I was like, oh, this is a great thing. And then I'm like, nope, it's not. It's pincher bug season. And now we have 1,000 pincher bugs in our house. And every time you pick up a glass, there's, like, a pincher bug in it because they're so fucking, they're crazy. They're just everywhere now. I have pincher bugs everywhere.
Like, we'll have them at the pool sometimes. Like, when you go and you lift up a towel that the kids left all crumpled because, God forbid, your children hang up their towel to dry. And they want to know why their towels aren't dry. Okay, so you pick up that towel, it's damp. And then, there'll be like, 10 will fall out of that towel, But like, besides that, like, we just don't have them many places.
We have them. They're all.
But I attribute that to my chickens. They just eat things.
Well, Tofu's not letting my chickens come on my front porch. I need them to, like, come up there and eat all of the
Another reason Tofu should have a kennel.
We also have like 1 billion of the wind scorpions. Have you guys?
Oh no!
Have you guys ever seen a wind scorpion?
If you have not, then you do not want to.
Google it.
I was just talking to Aiden about this the other day because we found some spider in the house and we were catching it and putting it out. And Aiden's like, yeah, that's nothing. You know what a wind scorpion is? So I was like, oh my God. I was like, stop. I hate those things. He's like, I found one the other day in our cabin. Thank God Abby was not home. He's like, I don't think she knows about him. I hope to God she never sees one.
She's absolutely going to see one.
He's like, she's going to want to move. I was like, they're everywhere. So no matter where she moves, they will be there. And he's like, yeah, that's a very good point. I'm going to tell her that.
Also, he should also tell her that they're magnificent hunters. And
I told him that. I was like,
they're great predators.
Honestly, I was like, I know they're creepy as fuck, But like, there's such great
And they
predators
bite
for
so
other
hard.
bugs.
They'll like take a chunk of skin out.
I've never been bitten. Have you?
Like, no, because I
okay.
was Googling it because I was like, can I hold it? You know, because I always want to know if I can hold the bug.
You can see their jaws.
I know, but I was like,
You
maybe
honestly
you
think you can hold it?
I don't know. I just wanted to see. I was like, can I hold it? That's like, you know, are they poisonous?
You're like a 5-year-old. It's strange. You're like that 5-year-old who wants to hold that fish in the tank. You're like Googling, can I hold this thing where you can see its
I have
jaws?
held a fish before.
Yeah, well, yeah. Exactly.
When I was little, not as an adult, Sherry. Okay.
I walk into Shauna's house. She's like holding her fish. She's like, oh, hi.
This is a normal thing that normal people do. First of all, I want to hold the bugs.
Okay, well, when you can see their jaws, you probably should not.
So
you probably
was
should
like,
refrain.
Yes. And so I was like, is this poisonous? Does it
You're weird.
bite hard? And there was like, it's one of the worst bites. Like, it takes a chunk of skin. And I was like, you can't be held. Because they look kind of vicious, you know? But that what makes them amazing predators.
They're very, like, I know.
And they can get huge. Like, we have like a bunch of little ones around our door eating probably pincher bugs. But then we have like huge ones that and they're
huge.
Fast as fuck. Like, fast as fuck, boy. Like, they're
Fast
like,
as fuck, boy.
Like,
So
they like are
I found one in
crazy.
our shower, our old rental, and I didn't know it was one. And it looked like a ball of hair. Because it looked like a ball of hair. It was in the corner of the shower,
They don't
and
look
I
like balls
reached.
of
They
hair.
did. This one was huge, and it looked like what
do you
could
have
be
vision
what could
problems?
be hair, like in the corner. And so I reached down like to pick it up, and like it was all and like totally twisted. I was like, like ran in my shower.
Heebie-jeebies.
Oh my god, it was creepy as fuck.
We just caught one the other day in the house. Sparrow actually found it, and she was like, and I have trained her so she's not scared of like bugs to be all like, oh, hello, bugs, and be all like super, you know, excited when she sees one. And so she, you know, she was like, oh, hi, you know, to the bugs, but she knows not to touch it. Like, we also tell her, like, wait, you know,
Yeah.
because we don't want her
Ask.
to get bit. Yeah.
Yes.
And so, and she was like, look, it's a bug. But then her little baby thinking, if you don't know what she's saying, you wouldn't know what she's saying. And so I was like, I looked over and I didn't see anything because it kind of blends into our
Yes,
floors.
to the flooring. Yes.
And so I didn't see anything, and I was like, crazy baby. But then the kids are like, I think it's a wind scorpion. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, put a cup on that. I was like, I do not want the baby to get bit by a wind scorpion. She will never trust me again when I say a bug is nice. Like,
no, she'll
never
not. She'll be like,
again.
you a fucking liar. Okay? Straight up fucking liar.
But so I caught it, and like the fucking thing would not want to go in the fucking cup. And I was like, listen, we have to have an agreement here. I can't hold you. I would like to, but I can't apparently. So I'm going to put you in the cup, and I'm going to take you outside. So he did. We did. It was fine.
He did. We did. We did it. We did it. We accomplished the outside. That's crazy. Yeah. No thanks. Bugs aren't my favorite. And that's another reason I have so many chickens, and now the ducks. Very happy about it. Makes me very, very happy.
I love bugs, but like I understand there's like the natural like chickens eat the bugs, and I don't want to be like overrun with pincher bugs every time I open my door.
Yeah, no, that's disgusting.
But like, you know, I appreciate the bugs for what they do. I feel like
no. Yes, they have their point. They have their
purpose.
They have their purpose. It's fine. They
because
can
like
have
a
their
bunch
purpose.
of people
Like, please don't come in my house. You have a whole. Like, I'm only on a very small percentage of this land. You have the rest.
I know, but just put them
Stay.
outside.
I do. We do. I put them outside. We don't kill bugs. That's rude. But, like, can you just not come in?
So I'm on like this gardening Facebook site or whatever, and like so many people right now with their gardens are like, ants are taking over my gardens. Like, how can I kill them? And I'm like, they're in your garden. Like, leave them alone. Like, why do people want to kill ants?
Are they like? I mean, I'm confused. Are they like on plants when they say
yeah,
this?
well, because
or
like the ants will like harvest aphids, you know, on the plants.
yeah.
And well, they're not harvesting the aphids, but anyways, some ants can like, you know, chew on leaves and blah, blah, blah. But like, it's very easy to like, deter ants. They're probably one of the easiest of all bugs. If you're curious, like if you just mix some cinnamon in your soil around the base of your plants, they hate it. Also, they hate the smell of like oranges and stuff like that. If you mix like, you know how Sharon and I always talk about how we make that citrus spray with like it's vinegar, and then the citrus peels, and it's mixed with water or whatever. If you spray that around like not on your plants because it's vinegar, but like around like the beds or whatever on the boards, the they'll stay away from it. So I'm just saying, like, ants are the one thing. They don't just like irrigate soil, because they'll like make holes in the soil and they irrigate soil. They also are amazing pollinators without even realizing that they're pollinating. They carry seeds from like one place to another. They're responsible for really planting a lot of our forests and stuff for us. So anyways, don't kill fucking ants. It's fine.
Yeah, and just like, just to deter, and then preemptively just deterring them. You know what I mean? Like, not waiting until there's a problem, but just like taking some, like when I know it's ant season in my house, for example, I take lemon and I squeeze it around my countertops, where my countertops meet the walls, and all of my countertops, actually, all along the edges. And it basically, like, every day I just do that in the morning, boop, 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 and then
Good idea, Sherry.
yeah,
Look at you.
yeah. And then they don't get on my counters, because they won't cross that citrusy, like, and I know you're thinking like a little line of lemon juice, but to an ant, it's a huge, huge thing, obviously, because they're very tiny, you know? So, yeah.
I put sugar on the outside of my house. I feed my ants.
Yeah, see, that doesn't work for me. I have way too many chickens. My chickens actually like live on my front porch, and like, because of how my house is built, it's like up. You know what I mean? And so like I can't get to where
like a around
exactly.
Your house.
I don't have around my house. Like they could,
like whenever, like if they're coming in the front door, I put some sugar out there. If they're coming in the back door, I put some sugar out there.
It's not a thing.
They're coming, like I just like find where they're coming, the closest door or whatever, and I put it around the thingy. And people think I'm crazy or eccentric, probably both of those things. So it's fine. And it totally works for me.
Yeah.
My husband's always like, "Can you feed your ants, please, so they can get out of the kitchen?" I'm like, "Yes, I can." So, yeah.
And again, not just sugar, but if you wanted to, and this works for like mice too, like it's like a combination of like, what's that? It's like a combo of basically very, very, a lot of stuff that smells like crazy
Irish
strong.
Spring soap?
No, it's more like a bunch of, it's like cinnamon and
cayenne
pepper. What was the other one?
Yeah, it's like a mixture.
It's like a mixture, exactly. And you can, again, put it on the outside of your house, wherever you think they're coming in from, or wherever, like along windowsills, along doorways.
You don't want to feed them.
Exactly.
You should just feed them.
And they just don't cross it. And they'll stay away from it. And mice do too, by the way. Because again, imagine how tiny that mouse is. And they're very, very sensitive, their sense of smell. So, yeah.
And mice, why it's good to put it around like perimeters of things, or like inside perimeters too, of like hay barns or whatever. It's because mice and rats, they usually have bad eyesight, and so that's what their whiskers, they usually stay along the edges of things because they feel for like the edges of the walls. And so if you put it along those edges, it usually helps in deterring them. So the more you know, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
See, we're going to help you with all kinds of pests. We didn't even make this a pest episode. We're all like, what's happening? And then we told you all kinds of things. You're welcome.
Did Daya tell you about the huge rat she saw in the house the other day? Walter's house.
Whose house?
Walter's house.
Oh, really?
She's like she comes out of the bathroom, and she's like, and I'm walking, towards, down the little, hallway, and then she turns like right and going like towards the door, and in the kitchen area, and she sees this like thing, and she's like, what the fuck? And she's like, literally, like at first glance, it almost looked like their tiny itty bitty chihuahua. They have a very tiny chihuahua called Tita, and like she thinks it's the dog, and then she's like, oh my God, that's a fucking rat. Because you see this like long ass tail. She's like, the thing was huge. It like scurried on their fucking fridge, and she's like, and I'm leaving. That's my cue to leave. Literally as big as their dog. What the fuck?
Funny. Well,
I mean, their dog's super tiny, but still, you're just like,
the rat
oh
that
my
used
God.
to come under before we lived in this house, he'd come under the dishwasher and come out and get the dog food in the kitchen.
Before you live in this house, what?
Yeah, when we lived in Citrus Heights, I guess I shouldn't name cities, but whatever.
Oh, when you, you and Honest.
Before we moved.
This house, you meant your house.
Sorry, not this house.
I was like, this house?
This house.
I was like, we didn't live in Citrus Heights. Okay, yes, go ahead. Yes.
There was a rat that he would come out, and like the first night I was like, it's nighttime, we're sleeping, and we don't have kids yet. We literally just got married. We have dogs though. We have our two dogs. I had dogs before. I have like, I can't like
Yeah,
just
I know,
focus on
I
the
know.
story.
It's fine.
Anyways, so we're sleeping and I hear something in the kitchen and I look up and my dogs are both on the bed with us. My husband's like passed the fuck out. And I was like, so what's in the kitchen? You know?
You're like,
and as I'm like trying to get my husband up, and like when he's like asleep, he's like asleep. Like it's annoying. Like you just like, it like sets you into a blind rage for no reason. Like how well he sleeps. Like nobody should sleep that well.
You're like, what?
Yeah. And so like,
Not
I was
seeing
like,
that well around me.
I was like, I think somebody's in the kitchen because it sounded like somebody's like almost like going through something, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like we just had moved in, so, and I've never like lived in like, it's not a city, it's more suburban, but I have lived like that, just not in a very long time. And so it was just freaking me out even to live there in the first place. And so I was like certain there was like a burglar.
An intruder.
Yeah, going through like our silverware drawer or something. And I don't know why. We don't have real silver, but whatever. And fucking he
Should
is
have
just
yelled
like,
on the stairs, you're shit out of luck, it's fake.
and he's like, oh, okay, my husband, you know, when I told him that there's like an intruder in the house, and he just rolls over and falls back to sleep.
Oh my God. So frustrating.
So I am like, okay, fine. And I'm like, you know, I'm still in my 20s. I'm very like,
okay, fine.
small person
What?
at the.
I would have been like, get up. I
tried,
told you there's
he
an
just kept
intruder down
going
there.
back, and I was trying not to be loud, you know, because I was like, I want, you know, if anything, like we need to go see what it is and then call the cops, like on the sly or something, you know, if there it is an intruder. I don't know.
So you were
but my
literally
but my dogs weren't freaking out. And so
I
I
mean,
was
okay,
like,
okay,
and
okay,
Bubba,
yeah.
my one dog at the time, he was super overly protective, especially of me. So I was kind of like, okay, maybe it's not. So I wanted to go. I wanted my husband to go see though. I don't want to go see. Like, you know, I'm important.
You're dispensable, clearly. Okay, we both know our roles here. Okay,
Like, you need to go see.
I'm important to many people. You, okay? We all know. All right.
So I end up like getting up and, you know, I made the dogs like come with me or whatever, and we get to the kitchen and there's a little rat in the dog bowl like eating food. It was all not a little rat. He was pretty big, but he had like floppy ears. Like, he was adorable.
It's very, very
And so
cute.
then my dogs like see him and freak the fuck out. Like, I'm gonna eat this thing, and I was like, no, you know, like don't eat it. And so it runs back under the dishwasher. Anyways, I never let my husband live that down because I was like, I could have died. I didn't know what was in there. But then the rat would continue to come out like at night, and my husband's like, we need to board that up. And I was like, well, then how will he eat? Like, he comes here to get food. But so I started putting food outside for him, and I know you guys are thinking I'm crazy, and I am. And he would wait for my car. I would get home from work. I actually felt bad moving away because he'd wait for my car because I would feed him little pieces of doggy kibble outside, and he would come up and, like, when I tell people that, people like freak the fuck out. Like, talk about a trigger for people. They're just like, rats bring disease and they're vermin and just like eat white. Like, they'll just go into a tangent about all these things. Like, nothing sets people like in a, talk about a blind rage.
That's weird because it doesn't mock me. I'm just like, that's adorable. Like, I don't know. I mean,
when like people get
and like
triggered.
obviously you would see if he was diseased.
Well, like,
he most likely wouldn't be eating
like,
all like,
people
hi,
are
can you feed me?
diseased. We
Thank
like
you.
walk
I was like,
around
we
with them all
spread
the time.
diseases.
Yeah, like calm down.
Like none other.
Like, we ruin things all the fucking time, like electrical wires. Shut the fuck up. Like, nobody cares. Anyways, so yes, I fed it. I'm happy I fed it, and it was adorable. And
no regrets.
No,
okay,
none, zero regrets. So
that's adorable. He would wait for your
He
car.
would wait
He's
for me,
like,
and he'd
oh,
see
hey,
my
you're
car,
home.
and then
Sweet.
I had a pigeon that would do that too. I have attachment issues, but like it was so cute. But he had like he was big. He was a big rat. You know, he had long tail, and he would always like sit up and like sit there. You see my car
God,
lights. He was big.
I fucking love rats.
I know, me too.
I love them.
You know,
I fucking love them.
We had an old friend, Kathleen, from like when we were younger, like little. And anyways, she just messaged me randomly the other day and was all like, I am like, she was somewhere with her son, and they were like, it was like this, like these like rats had like a maze and stuff to go through, and they were like, she was like, I'm sitting here, and like, you know, she's like, I'm completely triggered because she was like, because I'm having all these flashbacks of your guys' rats. And I was like,
Triggered
I
how?
I know, because I was like,
happily triggered, or what are we talking about here?
because I was like, did something happen specifically? Because like I don't remember, you know. And,
Yeah.
And she was like, no. She's like, I just hate their tails, and like one of them had like tumors, and I didn't like that. And I was like, yeah, that was always kind of shitty. I was like, but not like in a. I mean, I guess it's gross, but like, you know. Anyways, it was pretty funny. I was like,
One of them
well,
had
good job for
tumors.
conquering your fears.
And I didn't like that. Not many people do. But yeah. I was like, did our rats bite
can
her?
come-
Or
she
like,
can
no,
come
you said that last time. Stop. She
almost
can't come
done.
in.
Come here, honey.
It's never a good thing. This
It's
is not a good
always
thing. No, it's not.
More babies. Okay.
It's a bad baby.
Anywho, so there's obviously a lot more going on than what we talked about. We mostly just talked about pests and rats, which I don't include rats as pests, so there.
I don't
Hey,
know.
bad baby.
I don't know that I do either. I don't know if like a pest, like a garden pest, I would like, like bugs, that kind of shit. But like
She
rats,
wants that.
no,
She's
I know.
gonna make
She's
it all kinds of noisy.
She isn't. Remember when she screamed into it? Oh my god,
You
that's
guys,
so funny.
in our Patreon episode, we were doing like one of our spooky episodes, and we were talking, and the baby at one point screams into the microphone like she has her whole mouth over it, and she like screamed into the microphone, and it was terrifying because it sounded like something was coming
We
from
were
behind,
wearing our
like
headphones.
we were wearing so like to us, it sounded like something was gonna come behind and like I don't know, swallow us or something or eat us, and we were talking about like the frogman. We should not have been as scared as we were.
I wasn't scared.
I like jumped.
Shauna
I
was
like
scared.
Like God, talk about triggered. Like I felt like my soul like came out and was like sitting next to me and was all like, okay, well, good luck.
You're on your own. Okay? You on your own.
It was very,
I'm
very
good.
terrifying.
It's a bad baby.
Anyways, thank you guys all so much for
Yes,
hanging out,
thank you.
for listening. Like we said, get those questions in if you guys are interested in doing being a part of that. If you have not checked out our Patreon, please do so. It's only $3 a month, and you basically get 2 episodes because we always give you guys a bonus episode every month. That's something on the spookier side about cryptids or something, so it's fun. And we always just kind of bullshit and talk and have a good time. If you want to check that out, go to Patreon/Porch Talks, or you can just go to Patreon and look up Porch Talk with our kind of homesteading. Our shout outs to
Yes, shout outs. Don't forget
Tegan
the shout outs.
and Lexi. Oh, she's gonna knock over our thing. Tegan and
Wait, no, she
good
didn't.
job.
Oh, and she
You're
still did it.
amazing.
Okay, great.
Tegan,
Good.
Lexi, our mom Tammy. Thank you so much for being our top patrons over there. We appreciate you guys.
Megan.
And thank you to Megan.
Yep.
Sorry,
Megan.
Thank you to
You're
all of our
forgiven.
patrons. You guys we appreciate you, and it helps keep this part of our podcasting going.
Yes.
And without you, we couldn't do this all.
That's
so
right.
Thank you so much.
That's right.
Other than that,
Yeah.
I'll talk
Bye,
to you later.
guys.
Bye.